format of this meeting is that on alternate weeks there's a step reading or a step share, and regular attenders would imagine it'd be a step 8 reading this week, but as it's the convention, we've flown in an international guest speaker to spell that one off, Frankie, to come and share his experience, strength and hope with you on a topic of his choice. So it's for 20 minutes, and I'll let you know when there's 5 minutes left, and I'll hand the meeting over to Pierre.
Thank you. My name is Pierre. I'm an addict. Thanks for asking me to come in here and share what has been given to me freely. It's always a privilege for me to give it back. I hope you understand my accent. If you don't, raise your hand. I'll try to... No, I can't do anything about it. So voila. If there is any newcomers, welcome. This is a big family here. If you have a problem with drugs, here there is a solution. That solution has worked for me, and it keeps working. The obsession and the compulsion of using drugs has been totally removed out of my life, and I'm truly, truly happy about it. There is a... It's funny, more I advance in my recovery, less words I find to express the gratitude that I have about being clean and about having being a member of NA. In my active addiction, I knew I had a problem, but I couldn't understand where the solution could be. I had no idea that a life without drugs was possible. I was very alone in my problem, using drugs daily for 18 years in a row, and those drugs were the answer of my feeling of misfit, and all this time I used, I never thought that there was a solution, really, to a point that I think I kind of decided that I will be using all my life. That's how miserable I was. And yet I was kind of, trying to stop. But being an addict, trying to stop by myself, I mean, if you're an addict, you know what it's worth? Very little. Alone with my disease, And my disease, for me, is not the drugs. The drugs were mainly the result of my disease. My disease is this voice in my head telling me that I'm a piece of shit, that I'm no good, that I have a shit face, that can't make it, that, I don't deserve to be alive, that I shouldn't have friends, that nobody can love me, that I'm all alone. That's my disease. And it's not because I'm clean that this disease, this voice, is gone. It's right there. I mean, earlier on, when people introduced themselves from visiting, I didn't speak up because I was scared. So, even though that disease is still alive, I try not to give it power, and I try instead to bring a power greater than myself, than the disease, to basically enjoy life, I arrived in NA in 1988. my drug dealer, that I was living in the French Alps back then, and my dealer was in Paris. It's about 700 kilometers. I know it's here, it's miles, but whatever, long distance. My dealer, I called my dealer and I said, can you provide me with some gear? And he said, no, I stopped. And that was really odd. I knew the guy we went to school together. And we did everything together. He was the one who gave me my first hit when I was 17. And then, so it took me 2 years and being locked up in mental institution, the kind of mental institution like, I don't know if you have seen Once Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest, but that kind of mental institution. Back then in France, that's addict, you put them in there, So 2 years later, I called him back. I said, can you provide me with some gear? I said, no, I stopped for 2 years now. And as I said, I knew the guy from school. And I said, if he found a solution, maybe that solution could work for me. So I took the train, I went to Paris to my first meeting. That was in October 1988. And I arrived in a place like this. And for the first time of my life, I realized that there was a solution. And not only there was a solution, but that solution worked into people. I could see in their eyes that they were like me, but they were into the solution. I was in the problem. So I stayed there a few days, took the literature, I said, I understand everything, now I'm going to be clean, and I went back to the French shops by myself. There I met one addict, and I said to him, look, I found this great thing, we are going to start NA in the French Alps, And so, we read literature together, and at the end of our little improvised meeting, we said, how much money you got? Well, 10 quid, okay, we are going to go and score. So, voila. There are 12 steps. Number 12 is number 12. Before number 12, there are 11 steps. And for me, I had to, follow the numbers. So to make a long story short, I relapsed, and it's only in the relapse I experienced things that I never experienced before. And it's only a year later, in October 1989, that after trying to kill myself under the subway, the metro in Paris, which didn't work, that I went back to the rooms and surrendered to this program. I decided to do it your way, not my way. Because my way was basically, okay, I'm going to be clean, but I'm going to use like on weekends, And so the obsession of and the compulsion of drugs has been removed from my life from since then, since October 1989. And that's a miracle. I did it one day at a time. For me it was impossible to think that I could stay clean for the rest of my life, and people told me it's just for today. And me, I was like, okay, if they ask me to do it just for one day, that I can do. One day. More, no. But one day I think I can try to do it. So voila, I've been clean for over 20 years now, one day at a time. I didn't manage to get 20 years clean by staying in my bed and watching TV. I had to take this book and take it out of my shelf and read it, and work the steps. Because I've noticed that if I don't work the steps, I stay the same. And if I stay the same, I go backward. My disease is very, 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 very intelligent. And when I say my disease, I prefer to say our disease. Our disease has taken a lot of my friends back out. I went to a lot of funerals in Paris. And what it has taught me is that, and great people, I mean, people were committed to this program. So what it has taught me is that our disease is very intelligent. But we have here a higher power that is even more intelligent than our disease. Good news. So that's why I keep coming back here, is to hear about this greater intelligence, this higher power that has the strength to beat our disease, And I'm a bit like a mobile phone, I have some batteries. I can last a few weeks or even months without meetings, but there will be a point in time where I run out of batteries. I need to come back here to reload, to recharge. But the main reason I come back to the meetings nowadays is to give. For two reasons. Is one, it will be very selfish from my part to take what you have given me and to keep it for myself. Like, thank you guys. Because there is a lot, right where we are talking now, I'm sure there are addicts here on the street that are dying from this disease, so who am I to keep it for myself, It's really a great pleasure to come back here and to tell you that, yeah, it's possible, and you are worth it. You're really worth it, each one of you. You're really worth it. You deserve this program and all the gifts that are with it. And the other reason I come back to give is my sponsor told me that. I have an NA sponsor. And he says, Pierre, if the price of your freedom, today's freedom, is the price of the gift you have in your life today, is just to go to a few meetings, take care of a few newcomers, answer the telephone of a few sponsors, and do a bit of service, that's a price you have to pay for your miracle in your life today. That's a very small price to pay. And it's true. I mean, when I talk about miracle and gift about this program, I don't talk about fast cars and big houses. I don't have none of these. I talk about the freedom that I have. I can travel, I can think, I can hug people, I can make friends. I have discovered a real peace that I never had before. This just mental war in my head, non-stop, has been replaced with a great peace. And please understand that I'm not cured, I'm still an addict, and my disease is sometimes talking really loud, but in comparison to what it was before, it's like nowhere close. If my disease tells me today that I need to go on news, I say thanks for sharing, and I go do my thing. If my disease tells me, oh, Pierre, what's the point of getting up out of your bed? You're just a piece of shit. Thanks for sharing. You have been saying this for 50 years now. And it's not true. I know it's not true. But because it is intelligent, it's building new ways to make me believe it's true. So I come here to hear you giving me new ways to beat that shit. I'm powerless. I'm powerless of this disease, you know. And that's why I keep coming back. I heard a guy in Australia. That's another miracle of this program. I have been traveling a lot. And I went to Australia, and this guy said, it says in our literatures that more will be revealed. Now the only way that more will be revealed in my life is that if I come to a meeting to understand, you know, that you guys are going to tell me what more will be revealed. You know? If I come today in a meeting, more will be revealed for me tomorrow. You know? And 5. Thanks for your service. 4. God is in charge, my friend. But I love all the people who do service. If these people were not doing service, I wouldn't be here. I will be still using. I'm here because there were people in Paris that opened NA in Paris and then open meetings and welcome me. People sponsor me. People who, set up the rooms. I'm going to finish by saying that I went through really tough times in recovery. I had a sponsor who died from AIDS. I had a very dear girlfriend who left me one day, deciding that I'm not the man of her life. I lost quite a lot of money on the stock market. And each time, I came back here. And new people carry me. You know, I thought it was the end of the world. When this girl left me, for 2 years I was depressed. 2 years straight, coming in the rooms, crawling, crying. You know, I didn't use. But I had also very good times. You know, I tried to be creative with my life. I do stuff. I have a hobby, which is dancing. And I have learned to cook, and I have learned foreign languages, and I have traveled, and so many great stuff, really great stuff that has happened to me. So voila, NA is not a fix to life. NA is not there for me to be clean high all the time on life. You know, life is ups and downs. The promise of NA is that I can go through anything clean. There is no reasons that can drive me to use. There is no emotion that can drive me to use. If it's too tough, I come here. My name is on the chair. You know, I can close the seat belt and just not moving from the chair. You know, until some sanity is back in my life. The first step for me is whatever happens, I don't use, I don't pick up. Whatever happens. And I hope it's going to be like that until the day I die. Silence used to be an enemy for me, and today it's where I listen to my higher power. And I really want to thank you for your listening, this silence, because silence is love. When we listen to each other, there is a great compassion, a great empathy, and great love that is there, because we welcome anything that is being said, and this is what we need the most, love. Thank you.
Thanks,